Welcome to Headstone Manor and Museum's online catalog, hosted by Axial ComView. On the main page, you can search for a record using our simple search located here, or you can go to advanced search to search with more specific terms. If you scroll down, you'll see a small introduction to the catalog, accompanied by a selection of photos of items in our collections. Further down on the page, you can see the Collections Spotlight. If we click on one, it will take us to a category within the collection. This is the Numismatics and Exonumia record. You can see here, there's a small description of what can be found in this category, and a photograph of some of the objects which are cataloged within the category. Click on the image to expand it. If we click on the Ref No, highlighted here, we can browse other parts of the collection. We can see here the hierarchy for the whole Harrow Museum collection, along with all of its accompanying categories. If we expand the Coins section, we can see objects that are included in this subcategory. Let's click on one of these items. Object 2017-30, the Charles I Rose Farthing. This brings us to the record for this object, which is pulled from the museum's database. First, we have the title of the object, then its collection, and the reference number, which is the number you would give us if you wanted to look at the object in person. Then follows the object number, which you can see is quite similar to the reference number. And finally, other information which has come from our paper records about this object. On some objects, which have been photographed or digitized already, you can also see images. Here we can see both the front and the back of the farthing. All images will have a watermark overlaid in order to preserve copyright. But if you would like a copy of an image without a watermark, please do get in touch with us. If you have any questions about the catalog, you can always find out more information on the links above called About the Catalog or FAQ. You can also click on our How to Search link, which gives you a brief overview of how to use the simple and advanced searches. At any time, you can return to the main page by clicking Home at the top of the page. The advanced search is a great tool if you know a little bit more about what you are looking for. For instance, if you know under which collection the object you are looking for is cataloged. You may not know this, but we actually have 3 separate collections held at the museum. The first is the Harrow Museum Collection. This contains objects donated to the museum since 1983. The second is the Harrow Local History Collection and Archive, which contains archival and paper-based material, most of which has been donated to the collection since 1948. And finally, the Headstone Manor and Museum Handling Collection, which our education team uses both in-house and at schools to help people learn about Harrow's history. If, for instance, you're looking for an item related to Pinner from the Harrow Local History Collection and Archive, you can select that repository, and then under the Any text box, you could type the word Pinner. Finally, you'd hit search. This takes you to the search results page. Here you can see that there are many different results for Pinner. It may be easiest for you simply to browse the collection, like we did with the museum collection earlier. If so, you can hit GB 1102, which is the archive's official code. This will bring you to the top level record of the archive hierarchy. From here, if you select the ref number, it will then open up the hierarchy. As you can see, the hierarchy is a little bit smaller for the archive than it is for the museum. This is because the archive is undergoing a complete restructure and cataloging. As such, more objects and more records will continue to be added over the coming months. We can, however, take a look at the records that have been added so far. In the Local History Collection, we can see that there are items already in the Visual Media section, and under that, in Photographs. And finally, here we go, photos of Pinner and Pinner South. By expanding this section, which does take a moment because there are many records inside, we can see all of the objects which are cataloged so far. In the future, where copyright allows, many of these records will have corresponding images also online. At the moment, as we can see by clicking on one example record, they do now have catalog information present. Here we can see the catalog record and image description of a photograph of the telephone exchange at 77 Marsh Road, Pinner. Many images in our collection come from the Greater London Council, the records of which are now held by the London Metropolitan Archives. When relevant, a link is supplied to the LMA's London Picture Archive, where you can actually now view an image of an exact copy of this for free. If you'd like to get in touch with us, just click Contact at the top. On this page, you can find our email address, the museum's website, and a map with an option for directions to get to us in person. We hope you enjoy exploring our catalog. Please do get in touch and tell us about your experience using it so that we can continue to improve it. Over the coming months, we will continue to add more records from our collections to the database, so keep an eye out for any updates.